Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So, the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the woman that you're becoming. Imagine her waking up in the morning. What's the first thing that she does? Does she stretch? Does she drink water? Now imagine her getting dressed. What does she wear? How does she carry herself? Now picture her looking in the mirror. What does she say to herself? What does it feel like to radiate that type of confidence? What does it feel like to be strong? What does it feel like to be disciplined? What does it feel like to be consistent? Hold on to that feeling. Drop in the chat box that describes your future self. What was that? What's one word that describes her? Oh, accomplished, proud, sexy. Yes. Ah, I'm getting chills. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Macro Hour with Nikkiey Stott. In this episode today, episode 214, I'm going to be sharing a really special one with you guys. I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes and share a live WarriorBabe VIP community call recording that I did last week on Tuesday, December 3rd. And I want to share this with you guys for a multitude of reasons. One being the feedback that I've gotten from our WarriorBabe community in terms of this conversation, this episode that I'm going to share with you guys that I had with them, and how they felt that they understood at a deeper level their own mindset and the own subconscious programmings or behaviors or beliefs or habits, and maybe holding them back, and the right way to approach them and rewrite them into more empowering scenarios so that their mindset isn't holding them back now or anymore, but now they can use these new beliefs, these new patterns, these new narratives, these new thoughts, these new habits to empower the rest of their journey moving forward. And, it's a really complex topic, what I'm going to share with you guys today, but I feel that from the feedback that's been received, it's been absolutely life-changing, and I want everybody to have access to this. And then also, I want you to see the type of conversations that we do have inside the WarriorBabe VIP community. It's not just about macros or nutrition, or you should follow this type of workout plan, or here's why strength training is important, or here's why exercising is important, or sleep, or all the things. We get deep. And we get deep because it's where real transformation happens. So I want everybody to have this episode. I want our WarriorBabes to have the experience they had, which was life-changing, the feedback I've read. And I want you guys to be able to have this experience too as well, and take on new information that can empower you along your journey. And then the one ask that I would have is that you take this episode and you share it with somebody that may be able to have the same experience maybe you had, or have newfound knowledge or newfound understanding that can be able to impact their life in a positive way. So that all being said, guys, I really hope that you enjoy this episode. Let's get to it. Let's go. Did you guys all have a great Thanksgiving? Yeah, sweet. Tonight we're going to dive into one thing that determines if all of your hard work sticks, or if you find yourself starting all over again. We're going to dive into what differentiates those two. So it's not about workouts. It's not about macros. You guys know that I love to come here to the party, and I want to talk about your mind. You guys cool with that? You know what? Yeah, I see some of you guys like, I need that right now. This is where the true transformation begins. Rewriting your beliefs, rewriting your habits, rewriting your thoughts, changing your thoughts to align with the version of yourself that you are working so hard to become. And tonight, guys, I want to show you guys how to do that. So this is going to be way different than what I have done in previous community calls with you guys and hanging out with you guys. It's going to be super interactive. So I want you guys, if you're on your computer, even if you're on your phone, if you're driving, be safe. You don't have to interact, but take what I'm saying and do it for yourself later on tonight or before you go to bed or tomorrow morning. I want this to be interactive. So I want you guys to have the chat box ready. And I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your breakthroughs along what we're gonna go on a journey together tonight. And I'm really excited. So let's start with first a simple question. How many of you have started a journey feeling motivated, only to find yourself back to where you started, or even worse, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling defeated? That happened to you? Drop the waving emoji, the girl that waves her emoji and her hand in the chat or whatever. Drop a hand raise, or let me see that. Let me see it pop off. And I want you to see that in the chat box, those hands going off, that you're not alone. Yeah. Okay, so majority of us have been there or are there. And I want you to know that what is going on in your brain is that your brain is like a computer. Your brain is running on these programs, and these programs are your habits. These programs are your beliefs. These programs are that little voice inside your head that's telling you that you can or you can't do something. The tricky part is most of these programs were written when you were a kid. Isn't that crazy? Like, for example, if you grew up thinking or hearing that you have to finish everything on your plate, or that you saw your mom doing diet after diet after diet, so you thought that you had to do the same thing, or you're not an athletic person, or losing weight is impossible after a certain age. Over time, do you guys know what these do? These thoughts and these beliefs do is that they become ingrained in you. And they're like the apps that are like, think of it like this, they're like running in the background. They're shaping your actions without you even realizing it. So I want you to take a second right now, and I want you to focus on what's one belief that you've been holding on to about your body, about your health, or about your ability to change. I want you to write that in the chat box. And I want you to be honest. It could be something like, I always quit when it gets hard, or I'm too old to build muscle, or whatever thought is running in your head. I want you guys to put that in the chat box. Yeah, it becomes trauma. Yeah. Being too old to clear my plate, being told to clear my plate was the beginning of my issues around food. Yeah. Do you guys ever have that? That's totally valid. I had that too. My family always told me how to make a happy plate. You guys ever hear that? Happy plate. I'm too old. I'm too old to change my body. I can't maintain my weight, my age. I'm too busy. Not worth it. I'm too old to lose weight. I'm tired. I'll do it later. Eat all my food. Yeah. All of this is totally valid. These beliefs that you are experiencing and have experienced and have carried on are totally valid. Here's the thing. They're beliefs. They're not facts. They're just stories that you've been telling yourself over and over and over again. And the first step to changing them is realizing that you can. The first step to changing them is realizing that you can and bringing the awareness to them. So I want you guys to look at those old beliefs, and I want you to rewrite them into something empowering. So here's an example. If your belief is, I can't stick to anything, let's flip the script. I'm capable of showing up for myself every day, even if it's just a little bit. So take a moment, take that belief that you just wrote in the chat box, and rewrite it into a positive, empowering statement. I want you to drop that in the chat box too. And then I want to see everybody writing what would be a more empowering statement. I'm capable of getting fit as I age. Yes. Putting myself first is my best investment. Let's go. I am worth it. I can do this for myself. It's never too late. I'm strong and I will finish. Okay, so a little hint. Always and never. Don't want to use those. So where was that one I just saw? Um, it's never too late. I am capable at any age to make the change that I want to accomplish for myself. I can and will make sustainable changes. Putting myself first is my best investment. Yes, I am worth it. Guys, these are so good. This is beautiful. Okay, this is where we're going to really dive into the immersive experience with each other. Because, and this is something that personally I have taken way more seriously on my own personal journey that I've been doing for myself. And what's really cool is actually in the month of January, you guys are going to be able to meet my coach that I've been working with personally on some traumas that I've been experiencing in my life and have been able to rewrite those stories and patterns outside of fitness. But I think it all intertwines together very beautifully. And you guys are going to be able to meet her. She's going to come in. She's going to do a entire session with us on breath work. And I know that that was a huge thing that y'all wanted. I brought an old friend in earlier in the year, and she did a breathwork immersion experience with you. And we're going to do the same thing in January. And this is one of the biggest things that she's taught me how to do is this next thing that we're going to do. So those beliefs that you guys had is now you've rewritten them, but now it's time to like use the most powerful tool that you can use for your transformation, which is visualization. And when I say visualization, I don't mean like daydreaming or I don't mean like imagining a goal. I mean like mentally rehearsing your future self with so much detail that your brain and your body believe it's actually real. Have you guys heard of Joe Dispenza? Yeah. Okay, cool. His book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, shares one specific example of how like somebody, this study group was learning how to play the piano. I believe it was the piano. And there was a group that just played the tune or played the keys in their brain. And then then there was a group that actually played it out, like played it in full or something along those lines. I even feel like I'm butchering that entirely, but like the people that were playing it in their brain actually like were able to experience that outcome as without even actually playing in the piano. Does that make sense? So like if you can visualize something in your brain without it actually being real, your brain doesn't know the difference between if it's real or not. Your body has no idea if it's real or not. So your brain can't tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something actually being experienced. So when you visualize yourself as like a strong, confident woman in who you want to be, you're literally training your brain to create that reality. And it's not even happening. It's not even real. What I've been doing for the last, it's probably been 5 weeks now. I will spend 15 minutes, max 30 minutes in the morning, sitting in front of my red light. If you guys have followed me on IG, and I've shared that. And I will go into a meditative state and I will visualize the outcomes that I want to experience as my future self before they're even real. And to tell you some of the things that have happened in my space, and I also believe in God, and I know He's by my side putting them into reality now. But if I was to tell you some things, I'm not fully ready to share everything, but what's been going on is pretty freaking wild. And I want you guys to know that if you do this and you buy into the visualization aspect, it's not some woo-woo thing. It's not some like, you know, what you start like it's actually really rooted in science. And especially if you're diving into Joe Dispenza's stuff, he talks about if you want to rewire your brain, you have to take on new learnings, new understandings, and then you have to emotionally, and that's what we're going to talk about. You have to emotionally buy into that thing. And then that gets rooted and changes your state of being. So let me break it down into this. Your brain loves familiarity. Your brain wants to stay in its comfort zone because it's designed to keep you safe. But here's the kicker. It doesn't care if your comfort zone is helpful or harmful. It just wants to keep doing what's familiar. Does that make sense? If your comfort zone is negative self-talk, if your comfort zone is skipping workouts or giving up on when things get tough, your brain will keep repeating those patterns over and over and over again. Yeah, that's why people stay in jobs they hate. That's why people stay in relationships they hate. That's why people stay in friendships they hate. That's why people don't have that, they stay in their comfort zone. But when you visualize your future self and you visualize it consistently and you visualize it with emotion, you're introducing a new comfort zone. One where you show up for yourself, you crush your goals, you feel proud of who you are, you're living out that new belief. It's actually happening in reality. The thing that makes it real is the emotion. So what Joe Dispenza says is that your thoughts are the language of your mind, but your emotions are the language of your body. You can think positive thoughts all day long. You can think, yeah, I'm positive, I'm awesome, I'm badass, I'm going to the gym. Or you can think those things. Be like, I am this. But if you don't feel them, they won't stick. If you don't actually, you can say I'm confident, but if you don't actually feel confident, they won't stick. They won't, it's not going to happen. It's not going to bring it into reality for you because your operating system, which I'm going to dive into and talk about a paradigm, because a paradigm is like, think about it like your beliefs and what I'm talking about now, your subconscious programming is the apps on your phone, but your paradigm is like the operating system that's operating the apps and operating your beliefs and operating your habits. Are you guys staying with me? Because this stuff is deep. I'm realizing as I'm talking out loud, it's deep. It's concepts that are sometimes really hard to understand, but once you really do understand it and you take it and you put it into action, it will, I promise you, it will be an absolute game changer. Okay. So your thoughts are the language of your mind. Your emotions are the language of your body. If you think, you can't think positive thoughts all day long, because if you don't feel them, they're not going to transpire into how you want to show up for yourself. That's why visualization isn't about seeing, it's about actually feeling. So you need to feel the emotions of your future self as if you're already living her. When you combine that with like a clear image and a strong emotion like confidence or pride or joy, you're rewiring your brain to believe that that version of you is real. Training your mind is as important as training your body. 100%. So what I want to do with you guys is do this quick exercise. And if you're driving, just follow along mentally and do this later on. But please, everybody, trust me now, believe me later in this aspect. For so long, you trusted me now and believed me later. And you trusted our coaches to believe us now, or to trust us now and believe us later on nutrition and fitness. Trust me now and believe me later on this. Close your eyes for a moment. Okay. Picture the woman that you're becoming. Imagine her waking up in the morning. What's the first thing that she does? Does she stretch? Does she drink water? Or is she getting ready for her workout? Now imagine her getting dressed. What does she wear? How does she carry herself? Maybe she stands a little bit taller. Maybe she stands with confidence, and confidence that like radiates. Now picture her looking in the mirror. What does she say to herself? Does she smile and think, I'm so proud of you? Feel those emotions. What does it feel like to radiate that type of confidence? What does it feel like to be strong? What does it feel like to be disciplined? What does it feel like to be consistent? Is it joy? Is it relief? Is it pride? Is it like, yeah, I'm a badass? And you feel that through and through. Hold on to that feeling. Okay. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and then drop in the chat box. Yeah, this is manifestation at its finest, baby. Drop in the chat box that that describes your future self. What was that? What's one word that describes her? Oh, accomplished, proud, sexy. Yes. I'm getting chills. You guys actually felt that? Did you feel it? Hell yeah. Capable of anything. Confident, determined, younger, strong, beast mode. Oh my God, you guys are giving me chills. Guys, this isn't just like a feel good exercise. There's like, this is science behind it. And I've dove into a lot in the last like 2 months on this concept. And I was just I'm so excited to share with you guys tonight. This is so powerful. When you visualize your future self, I've talked about this in the past, but to actually dive into the science of this and to read and to immerse myself in it even more, it's crazy. When you visualize your future self, you're activating parts of your brain that are responsible for motivation, that are responsible for problem solving, that are responsible for decision making. You're literally training your brain to notice opportunities and take actions that align with that version of you. And what's so cool is you can play. You can do anything you want in your mind. You can create all of these types of visions that you want to have and see and be. And as long as you attach some type of feeling to it that we just did, and you held on to that feeling, whatever that looked like for you, you can literally, things will show up or you act differently in your present day. And that's how you close the gap of like where you are now and the person that you want to become. The more you practice this, the stronger those neural pathways become. You can't just do this one time. I trust. You can't just do this once. You can't do this for 7 days. Like you really got it. As much as you guys are consistent with your nutrition, you're consistent with showing up in your workouts. If this concept isn't applied at some point, you may just find yourself repeating. You could be killing it with your macros. You could be killing it with your workouts, but there could be some point where these things come up in you, these old habits, these old stories, these old narratives that literally stop you dead in your tracks, and they will consume you if you don't practice changing them. And the only way you can change them is by trying to visualize how that person would show up differently so that you can bring it now into your reality. So, quick break. If you're finding this episode helpful so far, it would mean a lot if you could hit pause for just a second, leave a quick rating or a review, or share it with someone who could benefit from it. Your support helps more women discover these tools to build muscle, lose fat, and feel confident. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. To kind of get a little bit deeper, but stay a little bit higher level, I mentioned a paradigm. A paradigm is like the operating system. That's like the big picture beliefs and the habits that control almost everything that you do. So there's a difference between the two. There's subconscious patterns, and programs are like automatic habits and beliefs that drive actions like emotional eating or negative self-talk. Paradigms are like the bigger picture. They're like the overarching belief system that shape how you see yourself and how you see the world. Like, I'm too old to change. That is a operating system. And like I said earlier, it's like, think of it like the subconscious programs are the individual apps that are on your phone, and the paradigms are the operating system that are running everything. To create real change, you have to update both. You have to update the habits, and you also have to update the system, your overall mindset. So don't like understand that this concept is deep and it also cannot be done overnight. But I want to bring your awareness to these types of concepts because ultimately this is like truly the biggest transformation that you guys can make is when you are making fitness truly a part of your identity and a part of your health and a part or a part of your longevity. No more of this hamster wheel, no more of like December 1, I'm going to start again, no more of beating yourself up when you had a Thanksgiving meal and you think all your progress is out the door. Those are all beliefs, they're not facts. You're not going to ruin your progress in one day. You see what I mean? When I pull it back to that kind of thought process, These are thoughts and beliefs and things that need to be rewired so that fitness becomes your lifestyle. And I'm bringing awareness to this concept a little bit deeper than I ever have before so that you guys can emotionally attach to it and maybe listen to this over and over again and do things in your everyday over and over again. And it starts to change your state of being. So think of your paradigm as, which is again, the overall arching system. It's the overall mindset. Okay. The subconscious programming is your habits and what you do day to day. The paradigm is like, I'm just not someone who sticks to things. That's a good example. Or I don't have enough time. Or it's too late for me to start. Not necessarily I'm too old to do this. It's too late for me to start. So what I want you to do is I want you to take and think about it like that. If you have those paradigms, if you have, I'm just not someone that can stick to this, I don't have enough time, guess what? You're going to act in ways that prove that belief to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just as subconscious programs are not facts, same paradigms are not facts. They're just beliefs and they can be changed. But I want you guys to know the difference. The one's the habits, the app of the phone, one is your operating system. Apps in the system need updated. And that's what fucking warrior babes do, you guys. We take these concepts and we're like, cool. All right, it's a bit to unpack. Look, and sometimes it's going to be scary. It's going to be uncomfortable. But if you want change and you want permanent change and you want different from where you are now, results, mindset, things have to change, right? It's how we grow. And humans love growth. So think about an operating system. Think about a paradigm that's been holding you back. Like, think about something that feels like a roadblock in your fitness or your life and write that in the chat. And again, like, I don't have enough time is a great example. Yeah, growth happens outside the comfort zone, 100%. And this one may be a little bit harder to, time. I'm going to use time because it can be a little bit harder to understand the difference. Subconscious programming is a heck of a lot of an easier one. Self-sabotage, great. Yeah, 100%. If I don't get it perfect, why bother? Yes. That's a great one. All or nothing, the A-type, perfectionist mentality. That is an operating system. Okay. So let's rewrite these together because I think this one's a little bit harder to grasp. But there's some great there are great
Hi, hey, Oliver.
there's some great responses in the chat box. So let's rewrite them. If you don't have enough time, becomes I make time for what matters most to me. See how that's different? I make time for what matters most to me. Or if you have one where I'm too old to change, I have the wisdom and the strength to create lasting change. Okay. Or if I give up too easily or say I'm not disciplined enough, I'm building discipline every day. So rewrite it. Rewrite it now in the chat box. Make it powerful, make it yours, make it bold, make it strong. This is for my health. I can follow through one day at a time. I am following through one day at a time. I put myself first every day. I will stick to what I start. I am sticking to what I start. Will is Will means is a little bit out of reach. I am right now. I have the power to change. Yep, one day at a time. That one came back. I'm striving to reach my full potential. Yes. I am building my future. It's great, you guys. And these, again, like if you're like these can be fleshed out. And I would take the time for yourself to really think through what are these beliefs that are showing up that are getting in my way on day to day. Do I think that one meal is going to mess me up and my progress is all at the door? Why do I think that? And like diving in deeper and getting curious with those thoughts and holding the space for yourself to understand where those thoughts are coming from. It was because my mom told me I had to eat all the food on my plate. It was because I saw my mom. It's all, it can be generational. It can go way back. Shit is on, it can, this is deep. I appreciate you guys holding space for this conversation right now because this is next level stuff, guys. All right. Now, to tie it all together, and then this is also going to be like a two-parter. I'm diving into this stuff now, but I want to help you guys align with what we're talking about come the new year. When I'm gonna Kansas is coming in. By the way, that's my I call her she's called an energy coach because everything is energy. Um, but she's also like a therapist in some sense. She is going to be coming in on January 7th. That's going to be the breathwork immersion experience that we're going to have to kick off the new year. It's going to be freaking epic. And then either around that time or the next month in February, I'm going to help to realign you guys. So this is like this year, take these concepts, start implementing in them into your world, learn about them, read the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. Even going to his website, Joe Dispenza's website, I'm not even affiliated with him, but I highly recommend it because it's been life-changing for me. And downloading his meditations, he has free resources on his website. I specifically listen to the gratitude one every morning, starting my day in gratitude. It's 15 minutes. The next thing, though, that we're listening to right now, or the next thing, I was just all listening in the chat box. The next thing that we're to build upon these things is the action part. I mean, we can sit here and you guys know I'm big on like, even when I talk on the podcast, it's like, okay, cool. You guys are learning these things. But the most important thing that you guys can do is go take it and put them into action. Even if you think it's some woo woo thing or you don't believe in it fully, trust me now, believe me later. And I just want the utmost transformation for you guys through and through from the bottom of my heart. And I believe this is one of the aspects of it. So the way to align your actions with this new paradigm that you're writing, if your new belief is I prioritize my health, which was what one of them was in the comments, then what's one thing that you can do to prove that to yourself? For example, you're going to pre-plan your meals for the day. You're going to go show up the next day and you're going to go crush your workout because it was what was scheduled. You're going to say no to something that doesn't serve your future self. So guys, in the chat box, what's one action that you're going to take tomorrow that aligns with this new paradigm or this new habit or belief? Paradigm, let's go back to the subconscious programs. So I think that was a little bit more to digest. What's one action that you can take tomorrow that's going to align with rewriting an old habit or an old story, an old narrative, or an old something that's just holding you back and getting in the way? Pre-plan the next day's macros. Yep. Oh, that one's powerful. I will look in the mirror and say, you got this. You guys, yeah, that's huge. Looking at yourself and being like, girl, you got this. And then feeling that confidence, that's game changer. I'm going to show up and do my workout. Yes. Don't drink on a date night. That's a great first step. Or even if you have normally 3 drinks, maybe just have 1. Stop taking baby steps. Okay. Like I said, like these concepts are hard to digest. So maybe it's like, I don't drink enough water. I hate water. It makes me stay up all night. Okay, you put it out in the morning early on and you start drinking it earlier on in the day. It's a new habit. Doesn't have to be as like, because these can go intense and these can be super easy. They can be, you change things immediately, or they can be like little baby steps. It's up to you on how far you want to go, because you can literally, like what my energy coach says is it's just energy. And then you can literally put yourself in a position of what you want to achieve, and either God or how much you believe it to actually be true, it could show up the next day. I believe that 100%. So when you guys now take these actions, every time you take these actions, you are aligning you're aligning your new beliefs, you're aligning your new paradigms, you're reinforcing it. You're building trust with yourself and you're creating momentum. So let me catch up with that. Yeah, Joseph Dispenza is the author. It's the habit of breaking yourself. Yeah. Did I say that right? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. So yeah, if you guys want to believe in yourself a little bit more, you want to trust yourself a little bit more, following through on what you say you're going to do to show up for your future. Yeah, breaking the habit of being yourself. Thank you. When you say you're going to show up, or when you have these things, trust your gut. And this is the thing, this is where I'm going to follow up, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a teaser. You have this vision that you want for yourself. You start to see opportunities that come into your reality because you felt this vision to be true. So things start aligning in your reality. And then, so let's say you visioned yourself to be fit and strong. And then all of a sudden an ad pops up on your Facebook of WarriorBabe. I've heard these stories over and over again. Like I was in a really bad health condition or something like that, or I just got out of a really bad relationship, and then I really want to, and like there's the power of the mind. Like you most likely have created a vision for yourself that you want it to be healthy and you want it to be strong and you want to feel confident, and maybe WarriorBabe's ad popped up and you're like, huh, this is like speaking to everything of what I want, so I'm going to click on it. And you did. These are little opportunities that came your way, God being like, okay, cool, you said that, here you go. And you dive in and you're starting to to change habits of what you've done before. But then like eventually, so I'm going to talk about in the new year, is you'll have a commitment check. God will be like, you really want that? Here's a commitment check. I'm going to throw it your way. Here's Thanksgiving. How are you going to handle it? Here's the holidays. How are you going to handle it? Here's New Year's. How are you going to handle it? That's God being like a commitment check. Oh, that happened to me. Me too. This happened. What? Oh, I just got seriously chills. Yep, a test. How are you going to show up? You going to show up like your old self? Or you're going to show up like your new self? So, leaving tonight's chat, here's your challenge. Write down one, as you guys already did, but really it's different being by yourself and alone and taking the time to journal and write things down than it is being live here and seeing all the faces, seeing the chat box pop off. It's a lot of stimulation. By yourself, write down one belief or one paradigm or that's been holding you back. Take what you wrote in the chat box if you participated, write it down, and then rewrite it into something that's more empowering. And then this is where you tie the thing together. Every morning, each week, spend 5 minutes visualizing your future self. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, and you can listen to Joe Dispenza. I mean, his I think are 15 minutes. I just bought a new product, but I'm not 100%. It's like a meditation device. I'm not 100% ready to talk on it yet. But you can set the time. Put on like a YouTube relaxation, beta waves or alpha waves or theta waves or something like that. 5 minutes. Put them in your headphones. If you say we don't have 5 minutes, You have the time for what matters most for you. Yeah, the Calm app is great too. In those 5 minutes, feel the strength of her, feel the confidence of her, feel the pride of her, feel the strength. I said that. Feel the motivation, feel the discipline, feel the willpower, feel the badassery, feel the warrior babe in her. And then that day, just take one small action every day that aligns with her. 5 minutes is definitely worth me focusing on me anytime, anywhere. Today and every day, I believe in myself and repeat. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Yes. I love that. So in that moment, though, feel those emotions. That's the biggest thing that I want you guys to take away from this is like, okay, cool. Sitting here, Nikki said to visualize 5 minutes. My mind's going crazy. I got a million things to do. Breathe. Just take a inhale, hold, out. And do that like 5 times to just focus on your breath and be like, okay, now I'm supposed to visualize. Okay. I see this person. She's strong. She's healthy. She's got a good bod. She's got a strong mindset. What does that feel like? Feels like confidence. How does she act? She acts in her true authentic self. Okay. Feel that. It is all about becoming the woman that you want to be. And when it comes to fitness and when it comes to the results that you're seeking, it's not just about macros and it's not about workouts. It's about getting past any of these limiting beliefs that you're still holding on to that aren't true. They're not facts. They've just been a part of what you've been telling yourself over the years, and you can change it. You can change it right now. Okay, so if you guys are up for the challenge, drop a muscle emoji if you're ready to commit to this challenge. 5 minutes. I want to see those muscles rolling in the chat box. Yeah. Let's go. You guys are freaking awesome. You guys are warrior babes. Yeah. I love it. You guys should be proud of yourselves for sitting through this learning and bringing awareness to these concepts and being open-minded to take them and put them into your everyday. You literally have the power to rewrite your story. The woman is inside of you. The woman that you want to become is inside of you. She's already there. You just have to step into her. Okay? Guys, ready to get after it? Was this helpful? I always like to leave them.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's go, guys. That's awesome. Well, I love you all. I believe in you guys. I know you can do this. So the next big thing is just to take action. Go put this into action. All right. Appreciate you guys. Y'all are warrior babes. You're all unstoppable. I'll see you guys next time. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Let's get it. Let's show up like the true warrior babes that we are kicking into the new year, all right? Go babes. Bye, everyone. Hey, really quick, before you go, I have one small favor to ask. If this episode brought you value or sparked something in you, take just a moment to hit that review button. Your rating and review make all of the difference, helping more women discover the tools they need to transform the fitness and their confidence. It takes less than a minute, but it can change the path of someone else's journey. Thank you so much for leaving that review. I appreciate you so much.